Okay, this is for part 3. Once again, I'm Kelly Crow, and I'm talking about how I use scrapbooking to document our homeschool life. And so far we've talked about hanging things on the walls, displaying things on shelves, putting them into a scrapbook. But sometimes little hands need big projects, such as showing the defeat of the Spanish Armada. Or, I believe this one's titled The Planets as I Learned Them. Or, one of our favorites, oh dear, it's already falling apart. This mobile, that was a book report for Benjamin Franklin. These were all really fun projects. My kids learned a lot by making them. It used all kinds of different senses, and the great thing about doing these projects is my kids recall a lot about learning about these topics. However, it's kind of hard to take something that they worked so long on and had so much fun making and just toss it. So how do I document this sort of thing? That's what I want to show you next. Okay, my solution for these large projects is I take pictures of them. Here's the space one, the Spanish Armada. This is another one we did that was really fun that the kids enjoyed, doing a timeline of their life, and back to the Benjamin Franklin project before it started falling apart. And then, since it's kind of a culmination of the pictures of projects that my son did when he was in 2nd grade, I included a picture of him when he's in 2nd grade. These aren't attached or anything yet. I just kind of spaced them out to see how I like them. And I think what I'll probably do is put the title right here. And then the next page, I'm going to go ahead and leave blank right now, but later I'll put in my journaling or even let Alex write about it and kind of say what these different projects were. So it's going to be in a 2-page layout, but right now we're only going to make this 1 page. So here are my pictures, and then I'm going to put the title down the side. And one of the things I always do, I have my sticker letters right here, I stick them to the edge of my table, and then I put my paper right here because I want to see, will my sticker letters fit on my page? And this keeps me from having to peel them back off, and I see that they should fit on my page. And so I'm just going to put 2nd grade projects right here. And it's pretty easy. I purposefully make my stuff a little bit crooked when I'm putting my letters on, because that way it's like, oh, it's supposed to look that way, versus me trying to make everything even and it never ever is. And see how easy this is? And I love to get my kids to add the journaling because, once again, it's another sample from their writing. And a lot of times they'll remember things about projects that I've completely forgotten. And then this is pretty much it. This is your page. And it's not fancy or anything like that, but the important thing is you have it documented. You have it recorded. And there we go. Look how easy that was. The longest thing was putting the sticker letters on there. And so later I will adhere that to the page and I will do my journaling. And so that'll go in my scrapbook. Okay, I want to tell you a few more things about scrapbooking. One, I carry this calendar with me everywhere I go. I'm pretty sure my 3rd child is made completely out of my brain cells because I used to remember things really well. Or at least I think I did. It's all kind of fuzzy now. So I carry this everywhere with me, and I'm always writing down where we're going, what we're doing. Even when the kids say something funny, or at least funny to me, I think they say hilarious stuff all the time. Happens a lot in the car, and as soon as we get to wherever we're going, orthodontist, etc., I write it down here, and then maybe it's just in the margins around the month or something like that, but then I always know when they said it, who said it, where we were going, what we were doing. So this is a great resource to me in my scrapbooking. Now, a lot of the stuff I've shown you is really simple because I want scrapbooking, if you're new at it, to seem very approachable, very easy. You don't need a ton of supplies to get started. You've got a lot going on. I know you're busy. You probably not only have to be smarter than a 5th grader, you probably have to be simultaneously smarter than a kindergartner and a 7th grader and remember all the rules to kickball at the same time. So I want scrapbooking to seem like an easy thing to incorporate in your life. However, if you would like for it to be your new hobby, because it's really, really fun. I mean, if you want it to be your new hobby, it is so much fun, and I could probably talk about that for like forever, but I won't. It's really fun, and if you're looking for a creative outlet and you start enjoying it more and more, then you might want to get a little more detailed. Make pages that are a little bit different and something interesting for you to create as well. Okay, I'm going to show you some of the pages that I've made. They're a little bit more my style because this is my hobby. This is my creative outlet. Once again, I've created a lot of these pages for the website 2peasinabucket.com. If you'd like to see them a little bit more up close or just not moving around right now, then you can go to that website. Okay. Now you know how homeschooling kind of bleeds into the rest of your life and vice versa. This is kind of just a page about my everyday life, things that I see all around my house every day. Some of them are homeschooling items and some of them aren't. Okay. This right here is one of the things my son loves to do when he has free time to do art. He incorporates his passion for drawing with his passion for SpongeBob. And so he made a little mini book about SpongeBob, and I documented that. And here's just a few others. This is just documenting my son learning to sing the alphabet, which of course, according to Max, has to be sung at the top of his lungs. My middle son Alex, chess champion, wanted to document that. Then one day, my oldest gave me a little note. It says, "Mom, you're my BFF." I'm pretty sure he knows that that means best friend forever, but I wanted to document that, and I thought that was really sweet. This one is about my middle son Alex's diagnosis with dyslexia, which has really held us up in some ways in school and in other ways really pushed him forward. And so it's been a real adventure, and I wanted to document that, and especially all the hours of testing that he did. This one doesn't even have a picture on it. It is a conversation that occurred between my husband and Max about the, I believe, the nature of black holes and the universe. I was feeling kind of creative, and I wanted to just cut out a bunch of pictures. Makes me feel kind of like a little kid. This one right here is a picture of my son on a roller coaster, and it's called Holding On to You. So it doesn't seem to be about homeschooling, but it's just about the nature of our relationship changing as he gets a little bit older, and the fact that I can't hold on quite so tightly as I still want to. This one right here is of one of our trips to Washington, D.C. It was fun for me. It was documenting it, but it was also fun to kind of get to play with the buttons and the ribbons and stuff. I don't know if this happens for you or not, but my homeschool kids come up with some really odd clothing combinations, and maybe it's because we don't leave the house every day, but this was just kind of celebrating my son David's view of pattern matches pattern, much like red would match red. This is a picture of my son from a family trip to Central Park. One of the activities my kids are involved in is all three are involved in karate. And here is a page about their karate. Well, that seems to be a blank page. Okay. David did a book report on different fish in the ocean, and he really loved anglerfish. So instead of doing a page about his book report, I just did a page about what he said about the anglerfish. He said, "I like anglerfish best because they are weird." And this is actually a picture that he drew. Sometimes when we're just doing a lesson, it makes me think of things, hey, I want to scrapbook that. We were talking about our family tree in school one day, and I decided, hey, I'd like to have a visual of that for the kids. I think it might be easier to explain, and so I made this of their grandparents and great-grandparents. Now this one's a little more artsy-ish or weird, however you look at it. And this one I made just because my oldest son has some sensory issues, and that's how we started on our path to homeschooling to begin with. And sometimes things are a little bit chaotic for him, and sometimes he gets really frustrated, and so do I, in homeschooling. And I just wanted to create a page that kind of looked the way our day felt. And it felt chaotic, and it felt frustrating. And this is a picture of him, not happy that I'm taking a picture of him when he was very frustrated. And even just the way I did my journaling and I did everything, it helped me to cope with what I was feeling at that moment, and clearly we got through it, and we're all holding hands and singing, and it's rainbows now. No, not exactly. But the scrapbooking was actually very therapeutic for me in dealing with the way that I felt that day. And much like I would give my kids a journal and say, hey, if you're frustrated about something, why don't you write about it? For me, I scrapbook about it. So those are some pages that may give you some more ideas on different ways to incorporate scrapbooking.